What's up, guys? Welcome back. If you know anything about this channel, you know I like to talk about the hard topics. I don't want to just teach you guys how to throw a jab, how to throw a cross. I want to talk about the topics that are a little taboo, that other people don't want to discuss for some reason. I don't really understand why. I try to share information I think is the most valuable to anybody who wants to compete or anybody who's in the gym, just having fun but still really wants to be a good kickboxer. So today, we are going to talk about that little voice in the back of your head, that little voice that asks you all the time, maybe not all the time, but super often in training camp, why do I do this? Why do I put myself through this? Why don't I just change sports, follow a career path? What am I doing? That's what we're going to talk about today. Should that be happening to you? How often does it happen? Does it happen to me? I'm going to give you all the answers to those questions right after the introduction. The reason, guys, I want to address this subject is I was thinking the other day to about, I want to say 2.5 years ago, when my brother was competing full-time as an amateur boxer. He's moved on now. He's doing other things. He's got his pilot's license. He's trying to, I believe, get something in business at university, his business degree or something. But anyway, when he was a full-time fighter, he came to me one day and he asked me the question that goes through my head often, but nobody had ever asked me before. And I've really never discussed with anybody before. He came to me and he went, I'm in the middle of training camp and I keep asking myself, why am I doing this? And he asked me, does this ever happen to you? Do you ever get in the middle of training camp in part of one of your days, just all of a sudden it pops into your mind and you're just going, you're personally asking yourself, why? Why? Why would I do this to myself? I've got butterflies, I've got fight nerves, sometimes you get hot and sweaty, sometimes you're scared, like to the edge of the capacity that you can deal with. And it was the first time anybody had asked me that question, even though I'd asked myself that question so many times, and I said yes, 100%. I feel like that every training camp, not throughout the entire training camp, but every training camp. I at one point asked myself, why do I do this to myself? Why am I here? Why am I still doing this? I know this point is coming. I know I get stressed. Why am I still doing it? So the point I want to make is I do it because I love it. I love the whole sport. I love the training camp. I love the competition. But there are elements which are terrifying. Everybody has their own reason. That's what you've got to realize. Some people are scared of losing because maybe the way it makes them look, it hurts their ego. Some people are scared of getting hurt. Some people are just terrified of being on TV. Some people have other factors that are just eating away at them. I don't know exactly what they would be, but I've talked to a number of people before. Everybody has different fears. Those fears are natural. Those fears are not something that you should hide from, not something that you should be embarrassed about having. So 100%, I have this. It's not something that I need to deny, like, oh, I'm big and tough and I'm not scared of fighting. No, I'm very scared. Every training camp, I have some point where it just goes right down the hill, and I have a couple hours where I just can't believe I've done this to myself again. And then the next day I'm flying high and I'm like, hey, I'm back to my normal self and I'm loving training camp. And, I'm just focused on my training instead of the fight coming up and the possible things that might not go right or the things that might scare me. All those factors, they pop into your head, which is why I've talked about visualization before. Utilize the visualization, watch that video, check it out, see the format I use when I get to those points where I start asking myself those questions. I start doubting why I've just chosen this career path. That helps center me, brings me back to the focus, and reminds me that I love doing this. The thought of not doing this for the next 2, 3, 4 years just seems crazy when I really think about it, because 95, 96, 97% of the time I love it. But there's that little small percentage where I just don't understand why I do it to myself. Now, the next question I want to go through is, do other fighters feel this? Now, once I talked to my brother about this, I started opening up to other people, asking them the same thing. And all the pro fighters that I've talked to have said, yes, that is completely normal for me. I truly believe when you hear a fighter spouting off that they never think they're going to lose, they're never scared, they're blah, 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 blah. That's all I hear at the end of that. I'm like, man, you're either putting on a show or you're lying to yourself, and maybe it's working for you. Maybe just denial is working for you. But if you are not scared to a certain extent, and you don't have some moments where you're going, oh, yeah, this is maybe not exactly what I want to be doing today. There's other things I'd rather be doing. I'd rather be mowing the lawn or doing something chill instead of going in to potentially have my nose broken or something. Those guys are either crazy or they're lying. That's what I think. I think everybody experiences it. I have not talked to one person yet in person who can look me in the eye and say, no, they have never felt that. So if there's somebody watching this video and you're just like, no, 100%, I've never felt like that. I love this like with all my heart. I've never had second guessing. I've never had doubts. I've never been scared, and I win. I win my fights. Throw it down in the comments below. I want to see who you are. I want to hear more about you, because you might be amazing to me. But for everybody else, the reason I put this video together is, like I said, it's a bit of a taboo subject. Nobody told me when I was coming up through my fight career, you will have moments where you're scared, and you will have moments where you question why you are doing this to yourself. I don't know why anybody didn't tell me that. I had people who were experienced enough that they should have shared that with me. So I'm sharing it with you guys. So when that moment comes in fight camp, in the future, now, whatever it is, I mean, it didn't used to happen to me. I was just so confident in my amateur career. I didn't think anybody could touch me. I didn't think anybody could beat me. But as I got further on, I started realizing, okay, the guys I'm fighting now are pretty darn good and pretty scary. I started to realize that, okay, I'm not Superman. And there are people who have the ability to beat me. Or the people, if they're not beating me, they can come very close to beating me. And they have the ability to hurt me now. All that has made a change. So I want you guys to understand that that is normal. And you should not be scared of it. You should not wonder if you're the only person who's feeling it, and you shouldn't go, oh, I feel those emotions and I question and I should quit because I have those feelings, and anybody who has these feelings of not wanting to do this anymore shouldn't be in the sport, so I should just bow out. That's what I don't want to happen to anybody, which is why it's so important to me just to sit down today and explain to you guys that these are feelings that I have. They're feelings that other fighters have. Don't be scared of them. Accept them. Understand that it's natural. Deal with it, and then move on, because they come in ebbs and flows, goes away eventually, and then you get back to your feeling like, yes, I love this sport. I love what I do. It's amazing, and I wouldn't give it up for anything, And that's where you get back to after you have those waves of doubt and fear. Anyway, guys, I hope this helps some competitors out there. You know, you might not even be a competitor. This might even just be somebody who's going to the gym. You go to the gym sometimes and you're not the best guy in the gym, and you're getting lit up sometimes and you're a little nervous. Just having those fears, you know, you can brush them away. Work on the strength and the resilience. Strength and resilience in mindset to push through those fears is going to make you stronger and better and greater than you would have been without them. I really believe that. Anyway, guys, like I said, I hope this helps somebody. I hope you guys appreciate hearing about this subject, because it's something that nobody else has talked about as far as I'm concerned on video. If you enjoyed it, give the video a like. If you guys haven't, get subscribed. We got lots of other content aside from talking about these taboo subjects. We got workouts, we got breakdowns of other fighters, we got breakdowns of my fights, loads of content. Come join the channel. Until next time, guys, train hard, and I'll see you back here soon for another episode.